Hi, my name is Patrick Hamilton. I wanted to share with you something very, very important in this short message, and that is that if you could choose to acquire one trait, one quality, one skill, or one talent that would literally transform your life, I've been studying the secrets of success, the principles that help people have incredible success in their life, both inner and outer, and I've come to understand that if you could choose to acquire one thing, one gift, one strength, one skill that would enable you to have a life beyond, literally beyond what you've ever dreamed possible, and that is the ability to choose. I'm sitting here on purpose in front of the Hyatt in Mission Bay in San Diego because behind me you'll see a number of boats, and this short, simple, powerful lesson is, I'm using boats as an analogy. Picture you're on a beautiful boat in an endless sea of possibilities called your life. And if you look back as you're driving through this bay or through the ocean, you'll notice that obviously a boat like this would produce a wake. Now, the wake of the boat cannot determine where the boat will go. It's obviously ridiculous to think that it has any effect on it at all. And in the same way, that's the way our lives are. We think that our past determines our moment and our future. So picture this, and this is very powerful, and like I said, it will require practice. But picture you're on a boat and you're in a seat, and the seat is locked in a backwards position. So instead of looking where you're going and enjoying the view and actually having control of where you go in your life, you're looking back on where you've been. And that's exactly what happens in our life. And let me give you an analogy that will allow you to take this and make a difference in your day. Because you've heard people say, you know, make it a great day. Well, what does that mean and how can you do that? The most powerful and profound way to do that is to use this analogy. Picture that you have basically two selves. One that's locked in a seat that looks back on your past. It's continually lost in where I've been, what I can do, what I can't do. You're completely trapped by an endless story of possibilities that are all limited. Picture that self, call it your ego, your false self, whatever you want, but it's locked in the past. It has no view. It doesn't even realize that there is a control where you have a steering wheel and a throttle. Now picture the other part of you that's continually hoping for the future. This part doesn't even enjoy the ride, is continually looking, you know, for that next destination and missing the whole journey. Now picture that, so that you have the past, the part of you that looks at the past, we'll call it the ego, the false self, that's continually limited by the constructs that believe, you know, only this is what's possible based on where I've been. The other part of you that's continually hoping for a future that never enjoys the ride and is still just as lost in some false destination or hopeful destination. Now picture there's a third part of you that's, let's say, high up in a beautiful, comfortable spot above the boat. Now this part of you is completely unaffected by the weather, can see the past easily, can see the future and where it's going, and enjoys the ride so much. You may have air conditioning, a stereo, whatever. That's the part of you, your true self. That part is not limited by the past or the future. It can decide wherever it wants to go freely without fear. That's the part of you, the ability, that part of you that has the ability to choose. So each moment right now and for the rest of your life, you can choose, okay, so you can look back and say, okay, so I've had a limited past, I've had fear, I've had failure, I've had success, whatever. And yes, there's all these things that are out there in the future, but right now I can choose to experience myself that's not affected by the past. Now I can create whatever I want. You can create any kind of life you want, a life literally beyond anything that you've dreamed possible. And I know that because I've experienced it. I've been through a lot of success and a lot of failure, and I've been stuck in that seat so many times in my life. But what I've learned many years ago is that when you realize that who you are is spirit, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, is up high above these two other self-created entities, and that part of you is free right now. And when you realize that's who you are and step back and see the part of you that's locked in the past, see the part of you that's continually hoping for a future, and realize that right now you're free. You're not limited by those. You can choose to create whatever you want. When you come from that place of choice, you realize you literally can, at this moment, have whatever kind of day you want. And because of that, any kind of future you want. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help. I love you all, and thanks for listening. Goodbye.